Hi, my name is George. I'm the owner of Florida HVAC Services. And today I'm going to show you an example of my electric bill and the usage. And I'm going to go over the electric utility based on the usage of air conditioning systems. The reason I really felt compelled to do this video is because of how many homes that I've seen, and I've seen thousands and thousands over the 38 years of being in the industry. Thousands of homes have had over exuberant electric bills, and all of it is 100% because of the air conditioner. Every single air conditioner that I've seen has not been installed correctly, and when an air conditioner is not installed correctly, it can really eat up your costs of your electricity to double, triple, quadruple the amount. So I'm going to take my electric bill and my usage. I'm going to compare you because numbers don't lie. Math is math. Kilowatts is kilowatts. Runtime is runtime. I'm going to demonstrate this to you today. And then if you have any questions, you could call me. Okay, so here we go. This is my address. I'm not ashamed to show you where I live. You'll want to come knock on my door and see, you can. This is my address, and this is my electric bill on a monthly basis. The reason I'm doing 2022 is today is September 23rd, 2023, and I want to do an example of a whole year. But just to look at where I'm at on this year, let's see, let's go to September. On this whole entire year, here you go, October for the last 12 months. As you can see, that this line represents the average usage. So my average usage is a little over 500, okay, for this year. Last year was just a little bit more. But again, the year's not done, and we're going into the latter months. As you can see, October, November, December, they dip. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take each one of these numbers and I'm going to put them in an Excel sheet. But before I do that, I want to show you here for each month what they show, okay? So it's showing an average temperature for the month of a 24-hour daily period for each day of the month, and the total kilowatt usage on my bill for that month, okay? Now, why are they showing the average temperature? Because 60% of your electric bill is attributed to your air conditioner. Yes, 60% is attributed to that one item, which is your air conditioner. And everything else you do in the house is 40%. On a properly ran system. On a system that's supposed to run correctly. And we're going to go over all of this. And what I'm going to show you is going to be rather amazing. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you each month here. Then I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to input them all on the Excel sheet. But I want you to see them so you don't think that I'm putting in fake numbers. Okay, so you could see kilowatts 441 for the month of May, 766 for June, July, August, and you can see average temperature there. Okay, here you go. And I'm going to put them all in this Excel sheet right here. I'm going to put them all. So I'm going to pause the video for now. I'm going to fill these in and I'm going to get back to you. Okay, so here you have it. This is 2022, as we see here. Each month kilowatt usage to the average temperature for each of those days. Okay, and you could pause the video and watch and see to verify what is here. It's exactly what I put on the Excel sheet. Now, we're going to look at my Nest thermostat. So when you have a Wi-Fi thermostat or a Nest thermostat, you're going to see the total runtime. This is me. That's my email address. See right there, that's my name. That's my email address. Okay. Here's the total runtime, total run hours of my system. So we're going to put that down too. Okay. So we had 191 hours of runtime. And here I'm going to show you each and every single one February, I had 97. March was 100. So the point when I do this is we're going to calculate this on an average, and I'm going to show you also on a system how many watts a system should run, and what my total usage is, and how much of that usage is attributed to the AC, so you all can see that you're paying way too much electricity than you should be, which is killing you. April. Where's my May? I don't have May. It should show up here. May was 225. I might have deleted that one by accident, but nevertheless, thank God it's there for both. So we have May at 225 and June at 317. July 371. August 380. September 265. I know what you're thinking. Why don't I hit the other month, skip a month, and so I can get both of them? And you're 100% right. So let's go to November. We got October at 172 and November at 101. And then, of course, December. And December is 109. So we're going to average each one of these out. So my average runtime per month is about 200. My average kilowatts per month is 578. And the average temperature is 69 degrees on the year. So now why do we care about 69 degrees? This is where the problem starts, why your electricity is out of control. Everybody thinks a bigger unit is better. I'm going to discuss the design on how that works later in another video. But right now, let's concentrate on what you're really supposed to be paying and why you're overpaying in your electricity. Because I've seen some electric bills, $250 a month, $300, $350, $400, $450, $500, and in houses that are in my neighborhood, because where I live, I'm in a development that are my neighbors, and they all have the same, pretty much the same size house I have, the same size unit I have, and my electric bill, it hovers in between $100 to $125, $130 a month, just from the usage. Okay, so I'm going to pause this so I can go to the next thing, bring up something else to show you. So I'm going to do a quick pause. Okay, so this is the manual that has all the performance data right here. How the unit is supposed to run, BTUs. There's a lot of information here that we're supposed to go by the data of the manufacturer. Okay, the energy efficiency ratings, the BTUs, and this expanded performance data sheet, which is not really available to us as contractors unless we request it. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of numbers here. They all mean something. I'm not going to go over all these other ones, but here's an example. Let's say for a 3.5 ton unit, this is the model number. This represents a 3.5 ton unit, and my house has a 3.5 ton unit. So here in this data here, it's showing us what the total BTU is. They break it up into sensible and latent. The difference here is this. I'll explain. This is very simple. It looks complicated, but it's not. Sensible is the air, the temperature of the air and the humidity. Where latent is the items we have in our house that produce heat, such as people, refrigerators, ovens, TVs, computers, furniture, anything that can absorb heat and produce heat is the latent side. So what they do is we take these two and we add them up and we come up with the total BTUs, okay? So this represents the temperature outside, and the reason 95 is highlighted is because that is the design peak conditions that Manual J uses to determine the heat load for the house under the hottest days, okay? So, and this is the total watts that it's going to use, that it's going to run per hour, because this is BTUs per hour, and this is total watts per hour. Now, that's providing what if it runs at 95. Now, have we had days where we got a little hotter? Yes, it does. But look what happens also. Your BTU capacity reduces. The ability for it to cool reduces. And the usage of the wattage increases. Now, when we're not at peak conditions, which we're not always at peak conditions, we're at peak conditions maybe 1% of the time in total, especially when you saw the average on the year, we're at 69 degrees on the year, which is lower than the 75 target temperature. But if we were to go with this average, let's go with the lowest here because our average on the year is lower than 75. But let's say for me, I should not be wasting more than 2,400 watts per hour. So we're going to do the math here for this. And I'm going to pause this here real quick for a second till I formulate the math. Okay, I'm back. So I got the formula here. And just so you see, 1,000 watts is equivalent to 1 kilowatt. So if my unit was using on average, which is 75 degrees, but we have 69 in average in Florida, but let's go worst case scenario, okay, of 75 degrees. I have a total runtime on average of 200 hours on the year, 204 hours. So I took 204 hours by the data that is shown in the unit. This is back to the data that the manufacturer is telling us that at this temperature, this is how many watts we're burning per hour if the unit is installed correctly, okay, and sized correctly, okay. Now that's another topic there, but it has to be all correct as per manufacturer specifications. So I used a total of 489,600 watts. Divide that by 1,000, I used 489 kilowatts per month on average. My total kilowatt average from my electric bill is 578. Okay, divided times 12, I have a total kW on the year that I've used 6,900. Okay, I'm not done yet, but you follow me so far? My monthly average of kilowatts used for my air conditioner is 489. My total electric is 578. Okay, I don't use a lot of electricity. This is my lights, my washing. I do my laundry once a week. 4 loads of laundry and 4 cycles of the dryer. Okay. I don't have a full family here, so my other use is pretty low. But that's on you and your use, on how you use your electricity. But what we care about now is the air conditioner, because according to Duke Energy, and you can call your energy company and ask them, 60% of your electric bill is attributed to that one item, which is your air conditioner. Okay, 60%. So I use very low usage around my house because I live by myself. Right? But whether I lived alone or not. And mind you, I keep my temperature at between 71 to 73 degrees 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when I am not home, because I don't want to walk into a warm house, even though I could adjust it with my thermostat. I know I have a Wi-Fi thermostat, but I don't want humidity building up in my house. So I always leave it at that temperature, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Okay? That's my setting. And this is what I use on my air conditioner, because mine is installed right, has the right filters, everything works the way it's supposed to as per design temperatures. And it's a 3.5 ton unit. And it's even oversized by half a ton. That's how I bought the house. Okay, so I should have been even better. So now, let's just take what I'm paying for on my electric bill on average per month for the air conditioner alone. Okay, so let's say the rate is 17 cents. Oops, nope. Yep, 17 cents per kilowatt. That's a little high. Depends what your rate is. You got to check your rates. Okay, so we're going to take this column here, and we're going to do the math, which is K2 times L2. So I'm paying $83 a month for my electric bill, just for my air conditioning. Okay? That's what it cost me if my rate was 17 cents. Now, if your rate, when my rate used to be lower, I was paying $48 a month when it was 10 cents. But 17 cents is very high. You gotta check your electric bill. I know they've gone up. But now let's just take my total, right? Let's take my total. Then you say, why am I not showing you my electric bill? It does not matter what the electric bill is. You got to see yours by your rates, by the numbers, okay? Plus, I have solar, which was a big mistake. That's another story. So my electric bill always comes out to zero, and they pay me back. And I regretted it because it's costing me more to pay with solar. And the only reason I did that was because I used to have some crypto mining machines that were drawing a lot of power that I don't have anymore. Because it wasn't worth it, and I got duped. So I don't want to see you get duped with solar. You don't need solar. But I will show you my electric bill just for argument's sake. But let's finish this. So we're going to take N2 times L2. So my total electric bill comes out to $98 of my average usage. Okay. Now if we go back to my electric bill, let's go back to my electric bill. I gotta sign in. Hold on. I'm gonna pause. Okay. So we're back to my electric bill. So as you can see here, let's scroll down to it. I used 805. This is the month of, where is it? This is September bill, okay? For service from August 16th to September 15th. During the hottest month in August, remember where we were. I used 805 kilowatts. I only received 685 from my grid. See how that sucks? This is what I pay, $30 a month. But I also have insurance here for surge protection. That's why I'm paying that. So if my TV goes out or something goes out, they cover it. And that happened to me from the surge. And then these extra taxes. So you're paying $35. Regardless, no matter what, $35. But with my insurance, my whole entire bill comes out to $51 a month. And my My solar is 160, so I'm paying 200. So I'm paying more than what I should, because when you go by my usage here, I should be paying just on average 98 a month, and the 50, $150 a month. That's what I should be paying max. Now, if you're somewhere in between 150 and 250 because you're a big family and things of that nature, you got to really look at your bill. You can turn around and see what everything in your house uses, from your washing machine to your dryer to your TV to your light bulbs. And let me tell you, your light bulbs use the less, especially if you get LEDs and you can see the wattage usage. Those numbers don't lie. Look at your electric bills and what you're using and how it's being used. And I'm telling you right now, it is your air conditioner's fault if you have an exuberant electric bill. Okay? Now, if you want to know what it is that causes your air conditioner, I'm going to tell you right now. Lack of maintenance, and the biggest thing is improper installs. If your unit is bigger than what you need, that's going to cost you a lot. If the ductwork is too small, that's going to, for the air, and you can't get all the air, that's going to cost you a lot more electricity. Because if you remember the chart is showing you the harder it works. See it? So if it gets hotter, it's struggling and uses more power. Now, and this is supposed to be for a unit that is 100% clean, operating correctly. So what makes it work harder too is not only the heat, but dirt. If you have too dirty, if your evaporator coil is too dirty, that's going to make it work harder. So if it's working harder, you're pulling in more, right? So here, let's go for example here. If I took my unit hour, my hourly to 3,500 on a bad unit, my electric bill goes from 80 something to 120, right? Okay, just on that. What if you're using 4,500? I've seen this happen, right? See it? What if your total monthly average here is 1,900? What's your electric bill like? There you go. You're at 323 a month. I'm at 578. Let's say 600 for whatever. I'm paying 102. I've seen people be this high. Look what they're paying, right? Look at your electric bill total usage. And that's not including the extra little fees. So I did this year in, year out. Let's go here to my other years, right? If we go to my other years, let's go to my energy usage. Let's go to this year, my most recent one. My October 2022 and the rest of this year, right? Look at it. Average temperature 77, 539. Here's my average line right there. See my average line? It's a little over 500. 420, 421, 618, 426, 361, 477, 461, 604, 882. I don't know what Duke Energy did here, but apparently they screwed up. Okay, so they have two Augusts here. My August there was 82 at 490. My September here is at 805, and then the rest of the years to come. But as you can see, it's still pretty consistent on my average. See the average line? Okay, now this is going to go down more because we're going into cooler months, right? But now when you go back to last year, my average last year was a little higher. So this year I'm even lower. Okay? See my average? My average is just under 600. When this year so far is just over 500. And we're going into the cooler months. So I don't expect it to go much higher. We're going into the cooler months. So I actually reduced. And the rates have gone up. And my usage has gone down. Okay, so if you have any questions or want to know how we can help you to reduce your electric bill, give us a call. 352-358-5537.